Hey, good afternoon everybody. My name is Kelsey. I'm a yoga teacher at Pure Yoga, and here I am to present you a Universal Yoga Level 1 class. Welcome to the class. It's actually a very beautiful day out there in Hong Kong, whereas I do wish you to be with me in this live session of practice. I do wish you to go out to get some fresh air, to beautiful sunshine, and just soak yourself up in this beautiful, beautiful spring weather. That being said, you can always practice first and then go out to enjoy the sunshine. Okay, so this will be a level 1 60 minutes universal yoga class. And yesterday's class, I mentioned that this class will more be a stretch-based class. So yesterday, if you were to follow me with the practice, it's more a flow type of practice that will hold for relatively shorter time and going through different postures. And today's practice, I want to make it a more static practice, in which case you will hold a little bit longer time for each posture, which is definitely a good thing for stretching, because with time, you'll definitely be able to go in a little bit deeper. And also with this time, I'm hoping to take this time to explain you through, hello Caroline, to explain you through the alignment and the variation that you could go for to cater for different needs. So that's the intention. Hello Sam, that's the intention for today's practice. Okay, so we shall start. What you need, just one single yoga mat. We won't be doing inversion today, so just to make sure that there's no sharp edges around and enjoy a beautiful space, hello Sam, around just practice. All right, shall we start? Let's start. Okay, now starting the practice, to be in the middle of your mat or to be in any place that you feel it's your place of power on the mat. Now start the practice. I like to rotating around our joints, your wrist, make sure there's no sensitivities around, and rotating around your ankles, your knees, and your elbows, rotating the shoulders backwards and rotating the shoulders forwards. Neck rotating in one direction, in the other direction, and then inhale, arms going straight up. Exhale, lower the arms down, just to start to synchronize your movement with your breath. Inhale up. Exhale down one more time, inhale up. Exhale down. Good, and getting your feet together and stand in the middle of your mat or in the front of your mat. I'm just going to stand here for ease of your demonstration. Inhale, raise your arms from the side up. Look up towards your fingertips. Elongate with your arms, getting your elbows straight. And draw your belly in, squeeze your buttocks, squeeze your legs firm. And exhale, lower the palms in front of your heart. And slowly turn your fingertips down, bending your knees and palms down the floor. Spreading your knees wide, getting your feet together, knees wide, and extending your arms one by one, straight forward. Holding your palms together in prayer position. Extending your elbows straight. Draw your buttocks back towards your heels and rounding your back a little bit, and comfortably place your forehead down on your mat. Feel a nice relaxation through the back of your head. Feel the lengthening of your back as you micro rounding, and feel the weight of your buttocks drawing and sinking down towards the heels. And take a moment, place your elbows down on the floor. Fold your chest down and keep your forehead down on the floor. Feel your complete sense of grounding there. And be in that position of grounding. Feel your sense of gratitude to yourself, to everyone around you, to all people and circumstances that have been supporting you in your life. Remember, to practice yoga is not just about you. And start to roll your spine in, push through the palms, press through the palms, tucking in your toes, holding your knees together. Make all transition mindful. Inhale, raise your arms from the side up. Interlace the fingers and flip the palms towards the sky, standing up on your toes. Now in this position, make sure your big toes and your heels are touching with each other. Your knees are straight. Engage your thighs. Pull your belly in. Elongate the sides of the torso. Push your arms higher up. Push your palms higher up. Pull your arms back a little bit more. And on the next exhalation, jump your legs wide. Swing your arms down. Exhalation. Look at me. Inhale, arms going up. Exhale. Inhale up. 2 more times. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, rise arms from the side up. This time, we jump up our feet in and bend the knees to Uttanasana chair pose. I'm just going to turn the diagonal side to you so later you can see the demonstrate from the side for ladder postures. Now lower your palms in front of your chest, rounding in with your spine a little bit more, holding the weight on the left leg for a moment, and then extending your right leg back as much as you can. Now here we don't hold warrior 3 position. Instead, we turn our chest up and turn the right leg up and bending our right knee and push the right heel towards the buttocks. Now stop lifting the right knee higher up, lifting the chest higher up. Press the right heel towards the buttocks. 1 more time, lifting the right knee higher up, lifting the chest higher up. Press the heels towards the buttocks. And on the next inhalation, holding the weight of your left leg, pull your left knee high, right knee higher up to the front and extending your arms towards the side. Thumb inside of the 4 fingers, make a fist, straighten your arms, rotating the shoulders back, push your arms back and straighten the right leg forward, pointing your toes forward and pulse here for 5 times. Up, up for 3, 2, 1. Nice. Bending the right knee towards the chest this time. Use both of your hands to hold the right knee closer towards your torso. Then immediately flex the right foot. We're almost there. Stay with me. Place the right ankle above the left knee. Micro bending with your left knee here. Push the buttocks back. Use your right palm to press the right knee down a little bit more, lowering the chest down. Now action here with your buttocks. Push your buttocks back a little bit more, and with your hands, right hand, press the right knee down a bit more. Good. Then lowering the fingertips down on the floor to release the pressure on that balance, but at the same time, push your right knee towards the right side a bit more. Give your right hip a nice stretch. Push the buttocks back, lengthen through the spine, bending your elbows back for 3, 2, 1. And release the right leg straight back. Touch the back of the toes down the floor, landing the right shin bone down the floor. Right palm down on the mat. Now listen carefully. Turn your right shin bone towards the right side. And then extending your left leg straight towards the left side with your toes pointing. Push your pelvis a little bit more forward and raise your left arm up over your ear. Push the left arm back a little bit more. Turn the left palm pointing up. Look up towards your armpit. And pressing the left heel down the floor. And walk the left foot back a little bit more. Pelvis goes a bit more forward, looking up for 5, 4, 3. Chest more forward, pelvis more forward. And 1. Release the left palm down the floor. Return your left knee forward to tabletop position. Good. Tucking in your toes. Hold your alignment here. Palms about shoulder width apart. Knees about hip width apart. Start with a neutral spine here. Okay, and from here, now you see carefully, watch carefully for my shoulder position. Now your shoulders are not hugging towards your ears. Instead, from neutral position, micro bending with the elbows so that you create that space for your shoulders to roll back. So roll your shoulders away from the ears as you bending your elbows back and hug your elbows towards your chest. And then you will notice with this action of rotating the shoulders back, you naturally arch it with your chest. And then with this, sinking with your chest down a little bit more, looking up. So a bended elbow arch position, good. And from here, press your arms straight up, good. Now you return your shoulders forward, bringing your chin towards your chest and rounding with your spine a bit more. Look towards your belly button. Nice. Then walk your palms and one step forward. Repeat this one more time. Inhale, rotating the shoulders away from your ears, elbows bending back, sinking the chest down, looking up. And exhale, push your arms straight, and here, shift your shoulders a bit more forward. Make sure your shoulders are right above the wrist, chin towards the chest. With your feet, flatten your feet completely, pressing through the back of your feet and lifting your knees up 1 inch away from the floor. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Landing the knees down on the floor and press your feet back to your downward facing dog position. Stay in your downward facing dog, pressing the heels down on the floor, pressing up to the outer edge of your feet. Holding your knees small, squeezing your knees back up towards your buttocks. Push your buttocks towards the highest point, extending through your torso, extending through your armpit. Elbows are straight. On the next inhalation, look forward and hopping in between the palms. Inhale, raise your arms from the side up. Interlace the fingers and flip the palms towards the sky as you're standing up on your toes. Squeezing your legs in, pull your core in back straight, arms straight, flip the palms towards the sky, good. And from here, lowering the heels down the floor and sit your buttocks down. Middle finger touch the floor, extending your arms straight up to Uttanasana, chair pose. And lowering the palms in front of your chest, good. And then holding your right knee bended, lifting the hip up slightly. Left leg going straight back, lifting up a little bit higher and bending your left knee, good. Okay, now important, turn your chest up, bring your left knee higher up. Turn your chest up, bring your left knee higher up. Turn your chest up, bring your left knee higher up. And lifting yourself up to upright torso position, lifting the left knee as high as you can. Then inhale, both of the arms going straight up. Exhale, arms going towards the side. Straighten your left leg forward. You cannot see my left foot, but I'm pointing my toes here. So pausing to lift the left foot higher up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bending your left knee towards your chest. Use your hands to push this left knee forward, closer towards your chest. Lower the hip down, flex the foot. Good. Place the left ankle above the right knee. Use your left palm to press this left knee away from the front side. And use your right palm to hold the right side of the pelvis back. Square hip. And then lower the chest down. Now here, sensation goes towards your sacrum, the back of your spine, non-stop. Push your tailbone, push your buttocks back, elongate your torso forward. And release the fingertips down on the floor. Reduce that pressure from balancing and then work a little bit deeper into that opening of the hip. Hip moving back a little bit more, lower the left knee down a bit more maybe. Sink your chest towards the left shin bone, good. Then release the palms down on the floor as you round your spine. Release that left leg back, good. and then landing onto the left knee. Now you will have to turn the left shin bone towards the left side, then extending your right leg towards the right side and place the left palm down on the floor. Good. And now your pelvis are completely facing back or facing towards the side. And then you feel that if there is enough opening with the right side of the pelvis, if you still do feel the space here, I'd like you to push your pelvis forward a little bit more. Then swing the right arm over your ear. Good. And turn the right palm back and up, rotating this right shoulder back. Look up towards your armpit. And move the right foot back to give more space around the hip flexors on the right side. For 3, 2, 1. Lower the right palm down on the floor and return your right knee down, tabletop position. And remember about your alignment here, knees about hip width apart, palms about shoulder width apart. From here, we're going for our cat stretch. Okay, so here, holding your thigh bone perpendicular towards the floor. That's your alignment to start with. Later, as you need, we can adjust that. But to start with, do not compromise with this position. Okay, now walk your palms forward. Okay, now here I'm giving you options, so different people may have different needs. You can come onto your palms, pressing down on the floor, or you can come on your fingertips. This will lift your wrist away from the floor and give a nicer arch with your armpits. You can try, and also what you can do is to land on the outer edge of your right hand. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to support on the fingertips. You choose for yourself. So start with your thighs perpendicular towards the floor. Now on your fingertips, make sure you use your core to control that weight directly affecting the fingertips and melting the heart down. Holding your elbows straight. Okay, now if you feel this is too high for you, you can shift it a bit forward. Or if you feel that in the front there is too much weight, you can shift the hip a little bit back, like what I'm doing. But then objective being you melting the heart down before you melting the chin down. If you do not touch with your chest, you do not touch with your chin, all right? Stay here with your breath. And slowly onto your palms. Walk your palms back. Good. Okay, and then everyone getting the back of the palms down on the floor. Good. Both of them, if you need, you can walk the palms a little bit closer towards you and shift your hip back a little bit more. This way there will be less weight onto your wrist. And then non-stop, you're pulling the shoulders back, getting your elbows straight. If you could, sit towards your heels to give your wrist a nice stretch here, but rounding in with your spine to the extent you can. And relax your chin towards your chest. Push the middle part of the spine back. Roll onto your heels with your hip. And slowly keep rounding with the spine. Release to rest. Inhale, rise arms from the side up. And exhale, lower the palms down onto your knees. Now your knees will be about hip width apart and you're sitting onto the inner edge of your heels, palms above the knees. Relax the shoulders. And with the next inhalation, raise your arms from the side up. Exhale, lower the palms down on the floor to your downward facing dog position. Now we will be doing our vinyasa belly down just for one time. Inhale, shifting forward, high plank. Exhale, lowering down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, rotating your shoulders back. And exhale, returning to chaturanga. And stay inhale. Exhale, push up straight and back. Downward facing dog position. With the next inhalation, step your left foot in between your palms. First, I'd like to invite you to press your right heel down on the floor. Turn the right toes out 45 degrees. And then rise both of the arms up to your warrior one position. Good. In your warrior one today, getting your palms, 4 fingers straight. And cross your thumbs here. Good. And then in this position, can you straighten your right knee and press the right side of the hip forward. Squeeze with your buttocks. Good. Now check carefully your front foot. You feel that you're pressing into the inner edge and back foot is pressing onto the outer edge. And non-stop, pull the left side of the hip back and right side of the hip forward. Good. And now change position with your back foot. Lifting your right toes, heel up, and then pressing onto the right toes. And here you need to push the right side of the pelvis more forward and arms going towards the side. Bouncing action here. Here I want you to feel more of your hip flexors here, okay? Now shifting the knee a little bit more forward, up and down, up, down, down, and up. And then lowering down all the way, okay? Here, hold for a little bit. Let your hip drop before your knee. Your knee is still hanging there and arms going towards the side. Going lowering down, push the pelvis a little bit more forward. Keep squaring with your hip. Sinking with your hip a little bit more. And micro bending with your right knee to touch the right knee down on the floor. Okay, and flatten the right foot at the back. Now here, as you're shifting the weight more forward, I want you to feel more that with your knees as the lower part touching the floor, not the middle part. For that, you will need to sink your hip down a little bit more, and then you will feel that angle is not completely putting the weight right onto the middle part of the knees, but more at the back. Okay? And then roll the right side of the hip back a little bit more. Roll the outer edge of the knees down on the floor. More active engagement with your right leg here. Both of the palms onto your left knee. Good. Okay. Now first, I'd like you to lifting the hip a little bit higher up and push the right side of the hip more forward. Okay. Now with your torso position here, can you draw your belly in? Good. And getting your back flat, getting your torso upright. And in this position, without any arch of your lower spine, and getting your torso away from the left leg. Now here, you're not working so much on the top part of your right leg, but more stretch on the quads of the right. Okay, so not so much around the hip, but more on your thigh, your legs. And leaning the torso away. Stay here. Arms straight. Leaning the torso away from the left thigh for 3, 2, 1. Good. And from here, shifting the knees a little bit more forward. This time, can you tucking in with your toes? Now you see, with my sacrum and lower back, there is a comfortable and natural arch here. And now push your chest a bit more forward. Now feel that even though you have an arch, you do have the space there. Okay, push your chest a bit more forward, and with the arch, sinking the hip down a bit more. Here, a little bit of variations with your right hand. You can go back onto the outer edge of your right hip. So fingertips pointing up, so you're bending the elbows like this so that you can push the right side of the pelvis forward. So in this position, push the right side of the pelvis forward to hold that pelvis square and keep sinking down with your hip. You can have your left knee going over with your left foot if your knee, your left leg feels acceptable. Lowering down for 3, 2, 1. Good. And move yourself back. Good. and release the fingertips down on the floor. Okay, next we're going for the stretch of our arms on the left side. Now you're gonna do this with your belly down on the floor, lie down, but I need to explain the alignment while sitting up so everybody can see this clearly. Okay, so what you need to do here is, as you lie down on the floor, you're gonna get your left arm towards the left side. And what we're going to open is the front deltoids of the shoulder and stretching out the chest muscle that is from the heart center linking towards the left shoulder. Okay, now movement of your arm relative to the torso is moving backwards in this position. Most of us has quite a lot of mobility here to move, can be even all the way back. So as we lie down, we're gonna to roll the torso towards this left arm. You will see later, but now I need to explain to you about the alignment, which is really, really, really important. Okay, now left arm going towards the left side. With your hands position, it has to be as high as the crown of your head. This is very important. And remember, as you roll around with your torso, your body will automatically have the tendency to cheat. Why is it? Because as you move around, you start to feel the stretch. And I feel that, with this arm up, it's so hard to roll around, and then you will naturally slide this left arm down. So try to avoid this by setting yourself the discipline that I will hold my palm as high as the crown of the head. Okay? That being said, do not swing your left arm too much higher. Sometimes in class, I have seen people is almost stretching forward instead of stretching towards the side. So remember, this is stretching towards the side, this is stretching forward, and this is the middle line of 45 degrees. You will not go beyond this 45 degrees. Depending on different body structure, for some people, it may be very close to that 45 degrees. Some people go even lower, but a general guidance is the palm and the crown of the head about the same height. And you're not going to compromise with that, okay? I know you're in front of the camera, I cannot see you, but please, please promise me, okay? You do not lower it down, okay? And then what you're going to do is lie down and slowly roll your torso away. Now today, what I'm asking for you is not to roll too much, but roll as much as you start to feel that pull on your chest muscle and around your shoulders. And from there, you just keep a little bit bouncing action with your hip and try to turn your hip towards the other side, leading towards your torso a little bit more and feel the stretch. That's about it. Okay, now start. Lie down on your belly. Left arm going towards the left side. Now, a convenient thing for you to try and control for your alignment here as you have the front edge of your mat. And you set your crown of the head closer, almost the same line of the front edge of your mat, a little bit more forward, okay? And then you will get your wrist in the same line with the front edge of the mat. With that, you have a good reference point. Okay, and now everybody in this position, I want you to flex your wrist. So you should be able to see my wrist and palms clear. So flex and push your wrist away from your shoulders and sink the left side of the shoulders down. And with that, I'm sure quite a few of you will already start to feel the stretch on the front deltoids and the chest muscle. And getting the armpit lowering down a little bit and push the wrist away from you. Get more extension and space here. Then you return the left palm down on the floor. Okay, then we start to turn. Now, left side of the torso down on the floor. Now, as you turn, it is very important to use the help of your legs. What you need to do is you need to bending both of the knees up. That means your left knee also need to be away from the floor. Okay, and now keep bending with both of the knees. Use a bit of bouncing action, but be very attentive with your left shoulder to push the left knee towards the right side a little bit more. And your right palm, you cannot see me, but my right palm is pressing in front of my chest on the left side. And rotating my right shoulder back, only to stay here, everybody. I'm pretty sure for most of you, you already feel with your left shoulder. And just stay here and aim to rotate your pelvis a little bit more and getting your right side of the hip completely down on the floor. Only for those of you who have the space and who need to do a deeper stretch, left arm going up, rotating up and back, and interlace the fingers at the back. As your variation, everybody else just keep turning with the bended knees and hip down on the floor. Okay, then release your belly down on the floor. Okay, how did you feel about the stretch? Okay, now if you feel that there is compression around the shoulders, okay, feel that, you know, it's not really the muscles, but the tendons, the ligaments that are stretching and tearing through here. Okay, what you could do is first, you need to check for your position and move your palms a little bit higher up. Really, as you feel the stretch, it's a straight line, okay? It's a straight line going through your chest muscle, not going down, not with an angle, but it's a straight line here, running from your chest towards your arms. This would help and give you more sensation of your muscle stretch. And also, do not rush with your turning. Now, feel a bit of sensation and turn a little bit more. Feel a bit of sensation and turn a little bit more, and then we need those small and subtle sensations here to stretch out. And remember, do not rush for the last option. Okay, even if last option may look very cool, you know, but to compress your joints, that is not worth it. And more importantly, that is not the goal of yoga. Okay, now this is the first shoulder stretch. Then we will be doing a second one, which is very similar to the first one, but provide a slightly different angle and sensation. Your left arm is still going towards the left side, but now this time you're going to bending your left elbow up in 90 degrees. Okay, now here, if you move this elbow back, you will still feel that stretch on your front deltoids closing towards the chest, but it's a little bit different because you externally rotate with your shoulders a little bit more in the stretch. Okay, and now your alignment here, your elbow needs to move up about the same height as the middle part of your neck, okay? Which means the elbow is not here, it's not here, it's not here, it's here, roughly about the middle part of your neck. And from here, you're also going to turn your torso halfway. This time you probably won't be able to turn as much as before, okay? That's fine, but aim to have your left side of the torso down on the floor and turn and open up your chest towards the side, okay? And then with your legs, later you're going to bend your legs. This time legs are not bending up in the sky. Your left knee and right knee will be stacking together on the floor, but you will hold a 90 degrees with your torso and your thighs, and also your thigh and shin bone also remain 90 degrees. And then later, I'm just showing you to give you a rough idea. You're going to walk this top foot up to press the top foot down on the floor, okay? And then right palm on your right knee to push it away. It gets quite complicated with this, but I'm going to lie down on the floor and show you the demonstration. It's going to be explained all with the visual assistance, okay? Now lie down on your belly. Left arm going towards the left side. Bending the left elbow up 90 degrees, and make sure if you look towards the left side, your left elbow, you don't need to turn your neck back to see. Look from the side and the left elbow is already in the line of your straight eyesight, okay? And from here, roll onto the left side of the torso. If you're rolling onto the left side, I'm pretty sure for most of you, you're gonna to feel that stretch connecting towards the chest muscle. Okay, and then bending both of the knees up 90 degrees between your thigh bones and your torso. Okay, now you may choose to stay here if you feel this is already quite a lot Only thing is with your right palm, push it against the floor in front of your chest to turn your chest back a little bit more. Or, as I have explained briefly before, you set your right foot in front of your left knee down on the floor and make sure the left knee is not sliding out. Turn towards the left side a little bit more. Your right arm, your palm, push your right knee out and getting your right arm straight. And then turn your torso towards the left side a bit more, looking up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Release and return the belly down on the floor. Getting your arms going straight forward. Okay? If you have really stretched and if you have done this for the first time in your life or maybe first time of your day, you may feel that the blood circulation is starting to get interesting and then you want to restore that after your stretching. So left arm goes forward, right arm goes forward, palms together, and crown of the head down on the floor. Take a moment, restore sensation towards your shoulder. Slowly get yourself up. Pressing up to tabletop position. Cat and cow stretch for 3 times. It's a bit of more spinal movement. Inhale, rotating your shoulders back. Notice the difference in your left shoulder as you do them. Sinking the chest, looking up. And exhale, push your arms straight. Chin towards your chest. Inhale, sink your chest down, bending your elbows back, rotating the shoulders, looking up. And exhale, getting your arms straight, chin towards your chest. Final round, synchronizing with your breath pattern. Inhale. And exhale, arms straight. Good. Okay, and now from here, stepping your left foot in between your palms, setting yourself up. Good. Back leg 90 degrees, hold with your pelvis and walk, shuffle, shuffle your left foot forward to a straight leg position. Now, if you tend to have stiff hamstring, set up 2 blocks or books or anything you feel handy at home to support, and then you're going to go in lower with your torso. If you do not need that, you can support your hands on the floor to start with. Okay, now to start with, we're not going to go super deep, but instead we're gonna check through our alignment first. Okay, now if you feel stable, you can have your right shin bone straight back, parallel with the long edge of the mat. But if you feel that this structure is somehow wobbly, you can get your right foot a little bit in towards the middle line or even tuck your toes. But whatever you do, right side of the hip does not lean back. You need to send that right side of the hip forward. And then more importantly, the left side of the hip, you have the tendency, especially those of you with flexi hamstring, that will be collapsing forward and down, just like what I've demonstrated. See, you can clearly see the right side of my pelvis because my left side is sinking down and forward. Okay, so what you need to do is to pull the left side of the hip up and push that hip backwards and sending the pelvis more forward in this position. Okay, and supporting on your palms, or if you need a little bit more height, supporting on your fist, or even supporting on the block, whichever you prefer. Okay, back foot can tap or can be pointing toes position. First, rounding in with your belly and lifting your left foot up. Heel 1 inch away from the floor and pausing action for 3, 2, 1. Good. And lowering the heels down on the floor. This is also a good core work. Okay, and support on your palms. Make sure you have square hip pelvis, tucking your toes. Now lifting your right knee 1 inch away from the floor and push your hip back and lifting your hip up, tailbone up, and lowering the chest down, pulsing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then lower the right knee down on the floor. Now in that action, it's very important as you lift up, your tailbone is not rounded and tilting back. As you're lifting up, you want to push that tailbone higher up. This position, lengthen through the lower part of the spine and touch the right knee down on the floor. Now everyone, use your left foot to flex, really flexing, and use your left heel to pull that mat. As you pull that mat with the left heel and feel that the back of your legs is getting longer. Now as you pull, you feel the skin start to extend from here. And then you square your hip one more time. Okay, and then in this position, setting your palms in the front, in the same line as your left heel, and bending your elbows back, lengthening forward, and lowering your chest down, and lowering your elbows down on the floor to the extent you can. Relax your neck. Lower the chest down. Feel a nice stretch towards your hamstring on the left side. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Get yourself up. Good. Then return your left leg back. Be prepared to lie down on your belly. But first, I'd like to explain for the arm position here. Left arm. Now, previously, we're opening up. Now we're going to close the left arm in. You're gonna do this with the belly facing down. I'm just checking for the time, okay? But I need to explain to you how to get this left arm towards the other side, okay? Now, one way of doing it is you open towards the side and then you just closely, like straight on the transverse line, closing in. But that, for me, I will feel that this action tend to bring my shoulder up, and then I do not feel that I have ample space here to stretch at the back of the shoulder blades and then connecting towards my arm. Remember, your shoulders are ball joints, okay? You don't with ball joints, it's not the best thing to just straight do fold. That works better with a roll joint. With a ball joints, always use a bit of rotation and get around with that ball, and you will definitely feel more space. So that's the idea. So left arm going towards the left side first. Now everybody follow me. You're going to rotate this left arm down first. Bring your left shoulder down, and then from the down and rotate your arm towards the right side. This, you will feel that the shoulder is still dropping down, and then you're extending through the scapular bones and really making space here. Now first, use your right arm and in front, now inside of your left elbow, now bending this right elbow and push the left upper arm towards your chest. Now you will feel that this is a nice stretch for the shoulder, especially on the back side. We're going to do it on the floor. It's gonna be a little bit more effective here, but this is the idea of the stretching. Okay, now this is your first variation. I want to explain the second variation so you can do this on the floor. Okay, now one by one. Okay, now one is to get this arm straight towards the other side. And then once you get this straight, you bend this elbow up like in 90 degrees and get your palm facing down. Here you will feel a bit of rotation with the shoulder a little bit more. Okay, you cannot see it, maybe actually I show you the side view. First you go towards the side. Now as you bend, you will see that this elbow is already going towards the direction of your head. Now, in order to get this stretch effective, one thing is we need to fix this elbow as close as our chest. And the other thing is we need to push this left palm away from your face, okay? And then as you're doing this on the wall will fix this left elbow in. And then what about the other factor here? You will use your right hand to push this left palm away and down to the floor. Okay, so that's the idea. First, You go straight, then you bend, and use the other palm to press the wrist down on the floor. Alright? Okay, now here we go. With your legs position, now 3 options. Option number 1, both of the legs going straight back. Okay? Option number 2, it's like a halfway option, but also for those of you who don't have enough space next to you. This often happens in the studio where we only have the single mat and only about like super close distance. You don't want to kick to anybody else, okay? So you bend your knee 90 degrees and then lie down on your belly. But if you're at home comfortably and straight, you can feel free to stretch this left leg straight towards the left side and lie down on your belly, okay? This we consider sort of the complete form, but the previous 2 is also good. Remember, there's no good and bad with any variations. You really need to find the one that is most suitable for yourself, okay? Number 1, lie down on your belly, left leg going towards the left side, belly down, and getting your left arm. Remember to go from underneath and then towards the right side. Now feel a full opening of the skin on the back side of your shoulders, getting your chin down, face or palm down, and left arm goes back. Now you don't need the other arm to hook the elbow in, so right arm is going back with your palm facing up and resting your right arm down on the floor, and relaxing the right shoulder down on the floor, or right shoulder above the left elbow. Now you have now your left palm facing down and right palm facing up. So make a fist with both of your hands, thumb inside of the forefingers. Orientation of your palms remain the same. And repeat, left palm is facing down, right palm is facing up. And bring your chin down on the floor and make sure you don't have any compression with your throat. And stay here. 3, 2, 1. Good. Lifting yourself up a little bit higher. Lifting your chest up. Now bending your left elbow 90 degrees forward. Now you will automatically understand what I mean, that your palm is moving towards the direction of your face. Okay, now make a fist with your left palm and use your right hand to press your left wrist down on the floor and keep facing your chest down and going lower with the right shoulder. Now in order to balance the left side with the right side, lifting your left side a little bit higher up, left shoulder a little bit away from the floor, and lower the right shoulder down. It's perfectly okay if both shoulders are away from the floor, but it's best you hold both shoulders on a parallel line between the floor. Okay, keep pressing the left wrist down, melting the heart down for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Okay, return the leg and return your left arm straight forward. Right arm straight forward. Restore with the blood pressure here. Palms together and big toes touching with each other. And slowly release, pressing up to tabletop position here. Good. Now we're going to do it 6 postures on the other side. Now we only don't have a lot of time for the second side, but what will save us time is I'm not going to explain the alignment in that greater detail as I did on the previous side. So second side will be more focusing on practicing. But if you do feel that you need a little bit more time with the second side, if you have been doing all the time the practicing while I was talking, feel free to elongate that practice for yourself. That's the beauty of home practice. You have lots of luxury of time and space and to DIY for yourself. But that is just a note from me. Okay, now step the right foot in front, between the palms. Now lifting your back knee up. First, pressing the left heel down on the floor, left foot out 45 degrees and bending your right knee forward. Left side of the hip moving forward and right side of the hip moving back. Shifting a bit more forward, hugging in towards the middle line. Both of the arms going straight up. 4 fingers together, crossing your thumbs, elbows straight, and push your arms back. And now from here, pressing onto the left toes, lifting the left heel higher up, bending your right knee forward, left knee straight. And arms going towards the side, sinking down with your hip. Arms going up, arms going down towards the side, sinking down with your hip. One more time, arms going up, arms going all the way down, and hip going all the way down, and touch your left knee down on the floor. Good. Okay, both of the palms onto your right knee, and make sure right knee is pointing forward. And back foot landing on the back, pointing your toes, lifting the hip a little bit higher up. Check with your pelvis. Square your pelvis by pulling the right side of the hip back and push the left side forward and shifting a little bit more forward. Be very attentive to your knee, okay? Now, palms onto your knee, tucking your belly in, torso upright, just to lean your torso away from the right thigh. Make sure you feel that left quad stretch. Arms straight for 3, 2, 1. Good. Shifting forward, holding your right knee pointing forward and tucking the toes so that you do have more space to roll onto the left back outer edge of your left knee. Good. And also less pressure onto the left knee. Good. Now you will have a natural arch of your lower back. In order to create space for that arch, you push your chest forward, left arm going behind, press the left side of the pelvis forward, and push the right knee away. Lower the chest down, lower the hip down for 3. Just going forward, 2, and 1. Good. Feel free to stay a little bit longer if you do enjoy this nice stretch on the front side of the leg. And then next, we're going for our stretch of the right shoulder, transversely opening towards the side. Okay, lying down on your belly. Right arm going towards the right side, about the same height as the crown of your head. Okay. And then first, flex the right wrist, palm facing outside. Push your wrist away from you and pushing that right shoulder down and feel the flattened stretch on your chest muscle and front deltoid of the right. And then return this right palm down the floor. And from here, start to roll around with your pelvis. Now remember, you do not secretly move your hip closer towards your right arm, okay? And left palm pressing in front of the chest. Bending both of the knees. Rolling your hip towards the opposite side. Looking up. If you need, you can rotate the other arm straight and back, interlace the fingers together. Or if you don't need, I think for most of you don't need for this moment, just to enjoy the stretch on your right shoulder. Good. Slowly release, returning back onto your belly. Now remember, you're bending this right arm up 90 degrees. Okay, press the elbows down on the floor and start to roll onto the right side, bending both of the knees higher up 90 degrees. And step the left foot above the right knee down on the floor. Left palm push your left knee away from you. Left arm straight, looking up for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Returning back onto your belly and press yourself up. Tabletop position. 3 rounds. Inhale, shoulders rotating back, heart melting down. And exhale, arms going straight, rounding. Inhale, sink. Exhale, round. One more time, inhale, shoulders rotating back, sink your chest down. And exhale, round your arms straight. Now, step the right foot in between the palms, hamstring stretch here. Okay, now extending your right leg straight forward, back thigh perpendicular towards the floor. Good. First, support on your fist or even on block. Pull the right side of the hip back and up. Left side pushing forward and lifting the right foot up 1 inch away from the floor for 3, 2, 1. And lower the right heel down on the floor. Good. And now supporting on your fingertips or on your palms, tucking in the toes, lifting the left knee 1 inch away from the floor and pulling the hip back. Good. And push the tailbone back and up, lowering the chest down for 3, 2, 1. And lower the left knee down on the floor. Pull the right side of the hip back. Walk your palms a little bit more forward and lowering the chest down, bending the elbows back, holding your right knee straight as much as you can. Walk your palms in the same line as your left heel, lowering down for 3, 2, 1. Lifting yourself up and swing your right leg back. Lie down on your belly. Remember your option before. You've had one leg going towards the side, straight or bend it, or you've had 2 legs straight going towards the back. Make the same variation for yourself. Right arm going underneath towards the left side. Palm is facing down. Good. And then getting your chin down on the floor. Push the right shoulder towards the right side. Make sure you do have a full extension of the back. And left arm going back. Lower the left shoulder down. Right palm is facing down. Left palm is facing up. Make a fist now inside of the 4 fingers and lowering the left shoulder down a bit more. Now can you lift the right shoulder a little bit higher up and lower the left shoulder down a bit more. Make sure it's chin down on the floor, not side of the cheek, provided that you don't have any compression through your throat. And lifting your chest up. Good. Bending your right elbow halfway, 90 degrees. Okay, this right elbow is in the air. You use your left hand to press this right elbow down. Wrist down towards the floor. Lifting the right shoulder a little bit higher up. Lower the left shoulder down. And slowly release. Lifting yourself up. Now before lifting yourself up, getting your right arm straight forward to restore blood circulation. Palms together and big toes touching with each other. Forehead down towards the floor. Slowly release and get yourself up. Press yourself up, tabletop position. Good. Before we close for the class, cross your shin bones, sit back and lie down on your back. Wish we could have more time because I wanted to explain more for the alignment. So this is as much as we get for 1 hour. And I will for sure share more in later classes, lifting both of the legs straight up. Good. Bending your right knee towards your chest, lowering the left side. And then bring your right left knee towards the left side. Use your right hand to push the right side of the pelvis down. Extending your right arm towards the right side. Lateral twist. One side. And lifting yourself up. Right leg going straight forward. Bending your left knee towards the chest and push the left knee towards the right side while using your left hand to press the left side of the pelvis down a bit more. Left arm stretching towards the left. And turning back up towards the center. No need to sit up. Straighten the left leg. And then both of the arms going over your head. Make a fist. Push your fist and push your heels away from your torso. Squeeze for 3, 2, 1. And release. Resting the arms by the side and separating your feet apart. Stay here in your Shavasana. 1 hour is really short for a class that I want to explain so many details. I'm sure that all of you are practicing this. Okay, so that's about it for today's 1 hour class. Just a bit of what's going on. Next week, I will be doing 2 universal yoga classes on the weekends. Again, it will be from 3 to 4 o'clock on Saturday and on Sundays. And then next week, from Monday to Friday, I will be doing Instagram live classes on my own Instagram account, which is Kelsey NXIA. So you know how to spell Kelsey, and with the N and XIA. So that's my Instagram account. So if you're interested, feel free to join my class on IG, or I will see you for next weekends for the Universal Yoga class. If you have any questions, or if you have comments, any feedback on how I can do better and how you want to practice better, feel free to let me know. Thank you very much for joining me for this practice. Thank you so much. And I wish you a lovely weekend, lovely Sunday, and please go out to get some sunshine after the practice. Thank you very much.